We started off with really basic components that you can learn how to use on Google and YouTube.
I started cold calling schools. I didn't even have a website, a business card, or even a proper business name.
I didn't know that I was going to be a seaweed farmer. You're researching and talking about seaweed production, but you never really knew it was me that was going to do it.
I felt like there were problems in business and industry that were slowing me down, like too many protocols, too many pathways, too much risk aversion.
When I started the business, it opened up a whole new dimension of learning and experiences around entrepreneurship and how you actually translate some of that research into business and into the real world to go and implement it. And that was really exciting.
Branching out and starting your own company is not the norm for science. And in a country like Australia, there's some really good incentives to do it.
Science can talk about how we should do things or the theory of what might happen if we do this. But it's actually getting out there and doing it that will make the difference.
I think the best part of my job is that when someone asks you what a typical day look like, it's so hard to answer. And it's because it's so varied, which is so exciting.
Working with people, leading teams, negotiating, technical knowledge, so product development, legal, whatever problem comes up that day, you've got to work out how to solve it.
My advice to everybody is to find a niche that they love and find a way in which there's a pathway that they can actually see that becoming a skill or a job that they want to do in the future and apply themselves to that. So you've got to love what you do, even though you're challenged by it. And you've got to be challenged by what you love, otherwise life is very, very boring.
In entrepreneurship, we talk about this concept called finding your tribe. If you're interested in something, there are a lot of other people in the world who are also interested in it too.
It's super fun. You get to work with the person that you pick to work with, and you get to work on something that you get to direct how it goes.
There's a lot of stories about, when you're in business or you're an entrepreneur, that you've got to hustle and, you've got to be that big extroverted personality, but, that's not me. And I think if I can just be myself, if I'm genuine in my values and my behavior, then that can also allow me to thrive in this environment of being a business owner.
When you can really see how much other people appreciate the work that you're putting in, just knowing that I'm making an impact and that I'm doing everything that I can to leave the world in a better place, it makes it all worth it.
A pleasant evening to you all. Welcome to e-Biome's Business Planning and Development Seminar. Here we believe that businesses in STEM are solutions. And this is indeed true. When you think about, for example, a business idea that uses waste or takes waste and turn it into useful products, that's through the application of STEM. And so I want to ask everyone who is here with us today, are you curious about entrepreneurship?
Yes, I am.
Awesome, awesome. Are you curious about how is it that you're going to take your idea and make it into a reality?
Yes. Yes.
All right, you can respond to the poll on the screen. Let us know if you have a business idea in mind. And we want to know if your business idea falls within the field of STEM. It's completely okay if it's outside of that, but we just want to know.
No.
Share no.
Yes, we heard it.
All right, so the poll is on the screen. Let me know if you're able to see it.
Yeah, I was seeing it, Lanika.
Oh, you're seeing it?
Yeah.
I am not seeing it.
All right, so for those of you who are not seeing the poll, you can post your answers in the chat. The first question is, do you have a business idea? Yes or no? And the second question is your idea in the field of STEM? Yes or no? All right, so I'm going to share the results of the poll. Impressive. So 94% of us have a business idea, and 50% of those with an idea, the idea falls in the field of STEM, while the other 50%, the idea falls outside of the field of STEM. So firstly, we want to introduce you to e-Biome. So e-Biome is a key developer in the blue economy with a vested interest in using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, to drive development in areas of marine biotechnological research and ecosystem management. e-Biome provides scientific research and development consultations and employs innovative and creative strategies to discovering new leading product ideas in the medical, cosmetics, and pharmaceutical fields using marine resources. e-Biome bridges the gap between science and business. e-Biome provides services such as project management, proposal development, and business development services to small to medium enterprises in the field of science and technology. We basically support individuals. So their individuals will come to us and say, hey, we have this project idea, would like for you to work on a proposal, or hey, we have this plant that would like to turn it into tea bag or into a cream or a face soap. We work with startups. So there are startups that need a lot of support in terms of building out their investor deck, building their business plan, their business model canvas. We work with small to medium enterprises. We work with NGOs, and we work with government agencies. So we encourage you to connect with us if in the future you may need any of our services. Our team of over 80 research scientists and experts across Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Antigua, and St. Lucia, they're ready to guide you towards innovative solutions to both mitigate risk and achieve your sustainability goals. We also offer STEM courses, and for more information about different courses that we offer, you can visit our website at www.ebiome.com and become a part of the family. Follow us on Instagram at e-Biome and like our page on Facebook. So let us move right into it. Our business planning and development course. So this intensive workshop constitutes lectures on business planning and the business model canvas. The course is designed for existing and aspiring entrepreneurs. It will provide you with a comprehensive overview of the business plan and the business model canvas through exposure to key sections and elements of each. This course can serve as a resource for persons who intend to actualize their business idea and make it a success. In other words, this course is definitely for you. At the end of the course, you may take a final assessment. It is optional. Upon completion, you will be awarded the following: a certificate of distinction if you score above 80%, or a certificate of participation if you score below 80%. And of course, at the very end of this seminar, you will receive our free ebook on business planning and development, which will further provide guidance on how to develop your business plan and how to create a winning business model. So I just want to do another poll to see how many of us will be taking that final assessment, because I know people are afraid of exams. I just want to see what the responses will be. So the question is, will you be taking the assessment? And the choices are yes, of course, why wouldn't I? So which one of the answers is it? For those of us who are not seeing the poll, you can post your response in the chat. Will you be taking the assessment? The responses are yes, of course, why wouldn't I? All right, so the results of the poll looks very positive. We're seeing where everybody basically will be taking the final assessment. We are definitely pleased. Thank you guys for the support. So remember that you will receive the free ebook at the end of the session. So now I will turn over to Mr. Andre Bogle, Research and Business Coordinator here at e-Biome. So Andre Bogle is a Jamaica Flour Mills Foundation Scholar and a Research and Business Development Coordinator at e-Biome. He is an experienced programs manager, having served as the Environment Committee Chairman for the AZ Preston Hall, UWI, implementing and supervising multiple initiatives dedicated to environmental awareness and student development. His key areas of expertise include plant production and protection, horticulture, and agricultural economics. Through his educational history, Andre has received multiple academic distinctions, including the Geddes Foundation Scholarship for Plant Biology-related Studies, academic commendations from the Faculty of Science and Technology, the West Indies Group of University Teachers Student Bursary, and a placement of third on the Caribbean Regional Merit List for Cape Agricultural Science Unit 1 in 2017. He holds a Bachelor's of Science honors in Plant Biology and Economics, a double major, and has conducted research on the medicinal and agricultural uses of the invasive macroalgae Sargassum natans, and is a certified violinist with the Royal Academy of Music. All right, so we will just give Andre a minute to share his screen and begin.
Yes, okay, I'm so sorry. I am completely ready to go. Hello, what an intro, what an intro. I hope everybody is well. I saw the poll, 94% of us have a business idea and we're looking to develop it. And that made me so excited because at the end of the session, especially with respect to the business model canvas, we should all have a good idea of how to get started and turning those ideas into a profitable business, or how to take the business that you probably already have and take it to the next step, or to go forward in getting a loan or getting grants or anything like that. What I'm looking to do right perfect. Thank you. Okay, yes, so I'm just trying to go on to share my screen here. Let me open the PowerPoint. All right, are we seeing the PowerPoint?
Yes, we're seeing it.
Perfection.
Yes, we are.
Perfection, perfection, perfection. So yes, here we are at the beginning. So what we'll be doing here now.
Clearly.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So the topic for today, as Lenika would have said, is, well, we'll be constructing a business plan and a business model canvas for STEM businesses in Jamaica. Or at least we'll be getting an overview of how to do so. Of course, my name is Andre Bogle, and I am research and business development coordinator with e-Biome Jamaica. So first, because I guess I'm something of a geek, I usually start with a meme. So this is essentially saying, do you want to be a small business owner? Similar to the question that Lenika would have asked. And what you'll often find in the, most of us, the answer is yes, but for a lot of people, you have two types of answers that you can get. So the first is, of course, yes, it's gonna be so easy, it's gonna be great, let's go. They are this Leonardo DiCaprio, they're like, oh yes, it's gonna be so easy. Let's jump on the yachts and just live a wonderful life. And then you have a next set of us that more accurately identify with the second meme here, where they think, and I don't know if you can see the top part there. Let me see if the controls are in the way. But essentially, some people will say, no, it's too stressful. You can look at a fresh young man here when he's ready to, starting a business versus running a business. That is the idea that persons have of it. So we have two dichotomies that present themselves. In this, hold on, right. So obviously, neither situation, starting a business and operating a business being easy or being stressful, neither is 100% correct or 100% incorrect. So starting and operating a successful business in Jamaica can be incredibly easy, but it can also be incredibly stressful. And what makes the difference is preparation. Preparation is key. Therefore, this seminar, as Anika would have pointed out, was tailored specifically to give the participants an overview of the type of preparation you need to put in beforehand when you're going to start a business. And if you already have a business, it will provide some key information that you can use to guarantee upward growth, an upward growth trajectory in your business. So the goals and objectives, I kept them, this is an overview, I would say, for three main sections of what we'll be doing. First, we're gonna briefly touch on how to start a business in Jamaica, focusing primarily on where are you gonna register it? What do you need to do? Where can you get this information? Because that's not really the meat of the matter on this. And it's very easy to find once I show you. And then we go into in my opinion, maybe I shouldn't be biased, but the most interesting part of the presentation, which will be how to develop a business model canvas. Before I go on though, I'm wondering, I should have prepared a poll, but if we could just ask in the chat, how many of us know, or let me ask, do you know what a business model canvas is? Or have you ever heard of it before? If you can just let me know.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. So we have one no, which is, and you're in the right place. We have one yes, we have two yeses, another no, or no idea. Okay. All right, I'm looking in the chats right now. I'm just reading. I see Naurisha has heard of it. Kendra, she's not too sure what it is. All right, so hopefully, and oh, hi Javina, you're here. So by the end of this session, everybody who said they're not sure, and even the persons who said, yes, they know about this thing a long time, will be leaving with a greater understanding of how to practically apply it to any business at all that you may want to open, or to your business that you may already have and want to expand. And then of course, we're going to look at how to write a business plan, meaning we'll be going through a document, a very lovely, very detailed template for each of the different sections to give you a good idea of what you should be putting in your business plan and what we're looking for in a Jamaican context, in a STEM context. So let's move on to, and let me just make it a little smaller, move on to a little bit more detailed goal and objective. So we want to cover the process of registering a business in Jamaica. We want to foster a practical understanding of how to construct a business model canvas, emphasis on the word practical. We want to inspire budding entrepreneurs to at least begin planning their businesses. We want you to at least begin the planning stage of your business. And of course, we want to expose participants to the general requirements of a business plan, as well as the benefits. And of course, here we just have the three sections that we will be going through throughout our time here. Before we begin though, one last piece of introduction. I want to put a nice disclaimer. And this is basically saying that this seminar aims to give you an overview of the different concepts, enough to get you started or to get you on the right track. It is not a standalone piece of work. That is why we have the free ebook at the end. Because with the free ebook at the end, in addition to this presentation, you will be so good that you probably won't even need anything else. But either way, it will still be great to do more research, because that is, I mean, it's at the core of e-Biome. We are all researchers, but research should never end, and one seminar will not turn you into a professional. However, by the end of the seminar, you will have gained a practical and usable understanding of how to construct your business model canvas and what to put in your business plan. Are you ready to begin? Let's go. I'll assume everybody said a silent yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So what's start a business in Jamaica? This is going to be very quick, not the meat of the matter. Essentially, we're just looking at the process of registering and what website you're going to go to get more information. In Jamaica, you're going to the Companies Office of Jamaica's website, or orcjamaica.com, and they have it all listed there. I do have some slides here that show you essentially what you need to do, but basically in the Jamaican context, and I'm just going to leave it on this slide, you need to, it is actually illegal per the Jamaica's Business Name Act of 1934 to start a business without first registering it with the companies, of Jamaica, you know, the Companies Office of Jamaica. So because of that, it is very important that if you're going to do anything like that, you know, we do have the informal sector, but it's best to go the correct route, go to their website and get the registration process done and done properly. It requires information from you, such as the TRN, your NIS, you know, typical things, all the government documents that you'd usually hand in. You have to pay your taxes like your income tax, your education tax, general consumption tax. And you will need to determine the type of legal structure you will have for your business, which just means, are you gonna be a sole trader? Are you gonna be a partnership? Are you gonna be a cooperative, etc., etc.? And finally, if you're gonna be starting something within the field of STEM, let's say, for example, you're going to be a nutritionist, it's going to request that you upload your license from the requisite body. You know, if you're going to, even a hairdresser, a barber, you have to make sure that you get those things in order. Not only that, but for the aspect of STEM, and we all know STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. For the aspect of STEM that deals with engineering, if you've created something new, you would go about getting your patent done. And all of that information is on the orcjamaica.com website, and it's all there. This video here that I have the link, hopefully we'll be able to get you the presentation afterwards. If not, we can add it to the ebook as well. It walks you through in vivid detail how to get this process done. It's nothing too difficult. You take a day or two, get your business name sorted out, and just put in the information as it requests for it. So here we have the website. That's the Companies Office of Jamaica website. And if you see I have something, when you go on it, like you just type in orcjamaica.com, you will land here. Are we seeing my mouse? I'm wondering if you guys see my mouse or not, because I'm saying here. You guys see my mouse fiddle around?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can
Yes, we're
see.
able to see it.
Perfection. So yeah, so right here, you select online services, and then when that will open up a new dialog box that carries you over to registration for a new business. And when you select that, it will open this new pane that shows you, all right, the online business registration. No need to come into the office. You can do it all online, and you select go to services. When you select go to services, it carries you here, where you will either sign in if you've already created an account and you're continuing, or you just select create account. When you go over to create account, it will, and I've kind of just put something here as well to show you. So it's just test account, you put in your email, you verify your password, you do the captcha, and then register. After you've registered, it carries you, by the way, let me stop. I'm not going too fast, am I? Because this is just all available online. Am I going too quickly?
No, it's fine.
It's just fine.
Okay, perfect. So yes, it carries you to this page here, and you select register business. It's so straightforward, but it's always good to at least see it once. That really does help. And then from there, the video, like I mentioned before, I'm putting back the same slide here once more. The link to this video, and it will be available on the website where you go there as well. Let me go back up and show you. If you select how to, and it's gonna show you the exact same video link. I literally just clicked this, and I went down and I saw the video from the official Jamaica Companies Office of Jamaica, and they show you exactly what to do in painstakingly accurate details. So that's it. Just like that, you select your business name, you've registered, you have your TRN, you decide you're a sole trader or not, you got your patents in order, all of those things that e-Biome is happy to help you with, and so many other consultation agencies are out there happy to help you with as well. Where do we go from there? The business model canvas, an overview. So here, and let me see something. I'm gonna put this right down here so it's not blocking me. All right. What is a business model? Before we get into the business model canvas, and this is mostly for the persons who I would imagine didn't Haven't heard of a business model canvas? How would you know what a business model is? So the business model is the way in which a company creates value for itself while catering to its customers. Essentially, it's the mechanism that the company employs, that the business employs to generate profit. For example, you have different types of business models. And I want you guys to remember that first definition as well. It's the way in which a company creates value for itself, while, and of course, value for itself meaning profit. Well, I mean, if it's an NGO and other things, you have different definitions of the word value, but for now, let's keep it simple. Profit. The way in which the company goes about generating profit for itself or value for itself while catering to its customers. One example, and the most obvious, the most straightforward model would be the production business model. Essentially, good examples of this would be Juicy Patties and Irie Rock. I don't know if you guys know of Irie Rock. They sell a whole bunch of different like tea tree oils and lotions and skincare products and all of those things. So let me check what's happening here in the chat. Okay, perfect. Yes, so essentially, in the production business model, you're going to create a product to cater to a customer. Then you sell a product to generate a profit. Simple, easy, and straight. It's what we all think about when we think of a business. Make a product for a customer, of course, for a specific customer. Great if you can identify a niche. Then you sell the product to generate a profit. For this particular type of model, as you would imagine, in order for it to be viable, for it to be worthwhile, you need to generate enough sales to cover your production costs, your distribution costs, your storage costs, your labor costs, all of your costs. Your sales of your products need to cover all of those costs from just the sales. Now, let's move on, hold on. There we go. Another type of business model, and remember, the business model is just the way in which the company goes about generating profit while catering to a customer. It's the way in which the business does its activities. Another one is the subscription model. Good examples of this would be Netflix, would be Audible. I don't know how many of you know Audible, but I love Audible. I listen to it all the time. You know, they have free audiobooks. Well, not free, but they have audiobooks. And essentially, in the subscription business model, you're providing a service to a particular customer, which would be your subscribers, in exchange for a periodical subscription fee. Many of us have a Netflix account. That's literally what the business model of Netflix. You pay them every month and they give you access to a million different shows that you're probably not gonna watch because there's so much options and you can't choose anything. Anyway, so the business receives revenue from its clients at a regular interval. And this has a clear advantage because if you know how many clients you have, which you will, you have 10,000 clients and the subscription fee is $5, then you know, why did I choose such crazy numbers? But either way, you have 10,000 clients and the subscription fee is $5. You know that every month you are going to be making $50,000 in revenue. So that's one major advantage of this type of business model. But a disadvantage is that the cost per subscriber is higher than the subscription fee that is charged. What does that mean? The amount of cost that goes into providing you your Netflix account, if you were to sum all the costs and divide it by all the users, and you say, all right, this is how much it costs for one user, it will not be equal to or even less than how much you are paying. It's going to be less. So because of that, you have to, in order for this type of business model to make some sort of profit, the person has to be subscribed for a period of time for it to become viable. So, and I made a point of putting in the advantages and the disadvantages for some of these to show you that everything has their drawbacks and you can always push and pull from the different types of business models, how you want to operate your business, what strategies you want to employ, right? The last one that I'm going to quickly scan over is the advertising model. And a good example of this would be Google or any free mobile app, which essentially you generate revenue from selling advertising space. That's basically how most people on the internet make money. The problem with this is that it can be very complex at times, especially if you don't have the IT knowledge and that type of information and expertise at your fingertips. However, it, in my opinion and from my perspective, can be one of the most lucrative business models to engage in. And anybody, you don't have to be as big as Facebook or as big as YouTube to employ this type of business model either. But we're not going to get there in this presentation. And of course, another disadvantage is that it has a high initial investment to amass a large following, like Google. If Google didn't have how many hundreds of millions of people using the website to search on a daily basis, then how could they attract advertisers such that they can make a profit? So these are the types of things you have to think about when you're going to decide what type of business model you're going to use. Some other ones here that I'll just quickly scan through. You have the commission-based business model. Like any sales company or anywhere, you know what commissions are, basically how you generate revenue, how you generate your value while catering to your customer is you do the particular service and then they give you a commission on, I don't know, even us, e-Biome, we charge commissions on some of our projects as well. We're assisting you with a business to get a grant, for example. And, oh, I should have included it in this slide, but when we get there, there's this grant that I would love to tell you guys about from the Development Bank of Jamaica for $7 million. But when we get down to there, we will talk about that. But either way, we assist you in getting that $7 million grant. And in exchange, you give us a commission, I don't know, a 1% or a 2% of the grant that you receive for our services. You have the freemium business model, free premium. So what that means is you offer a service for free, like Avast antivirus or Photoshop or Skype even. And in order for you to make a profit as the business, you want to hope that people will upgrade to the premium version. And then you have the accessories business model, where you offer a product for free or for near the production cost. And then where you generate your income from would be the sale of the accessories that go along with the initial product that you would have received. One easy example of this would be a lot of these mobile game apps that you can download in the Google Play Store. You will find, I don't know, I don't play games on my phone at all, but there are a lot of them that, and I hope some of us are familiar with what I'm saying, that when you play them, if you want a particular feature, like you get the game is free, you know, but if you want a feature, a different costume change or something of the sort, you have to pay them for these accessories. If you want to access a certain part of the game, you have to pay, but the game itself is free. So, of course, you have so many more types of business plans and you can always mix them, because even with the mobile games example, you can clearly see that it would be a mix of the freemium model as well, because you can start off, you get the product for free, and then you upgrade to a premium version that includes all of the accessories, or you don't upgrade at all and you just purchase the accessories, or you sell advertising space on your mobile game. So all of them intermingle, but the important part is that we are focusing on how the way in which the business arranges itself to create profit, to make value while catering to their customers. Now that we've gone through that, let us touch on what the business model canvas is. Before I continue though, I feel as though I'm going kind of fast, but I'm not covering anything heavy yet. So that's why I'm trying to speed through. But let me just ask, is everybody still awake and still with me?
Yes, sir.
Awake and well.
Yes, sir.
Perfection. Boy, I don't know, I should say I've done a lot of different presentations. You guys are very responsive, I love it. These are the types of presentations we like. You answer questions, you answer polls, and you're involved. You seem like people who have the type of personality to succeed in really any endeavor, because you're not afraid to speak up and not afraid to participate in something that can assist you. So the business model canvas. If the business model is just the way in which you arrange your business to create value, you know, to create a profit, the way in which you offer your service and how you do it, then the business model canvas is a tool that is used to visualize and summarize your business model. It is by definition straightforward. It is a structured document that is one page. That's why we call it a canvas. You know, it's just one sheet and it has all the information that you will need to get your business off the ground and to guide you. And not only that, but to serve as a pitch to different loan companies or to somebody who's never heard of your business. You use the business model canvas for so many different things. And I don't know if you can hear the excitement in my voice or if I sound the same as how I did when I started, but I'm very excited about this section, as I would have said before. So the business model canvas has 9 different key elements. That's 9 sections, which I've taken the liberty of grouping it further down. So I group all 9 of them into profit centers. Those are the aspects of the business model canvas that generate some form of profit for you. Usually they deal with the customer end, that type of information. And then you have the cost centers. That's where you're going to have the information that has to do with the costs. Why I split it up like that is because we all have an idea of profit versus cost or revenue versus cost. So it's good to think about it in that way while we go through all 9 of the sections. So like I said before, it summarizes the structure of the business plan. And because of that, the business model canvas comes before the business plan. Because the business plan is a more detailed document. You're going to be submitting that to a bank. You're going to be using that at a board meeting when you want to evaluate your 10-year performance. It's a cumbersome document when you're applying for a loan or a grant or anything like that. That's when you're going to use the business plan. And a lot of persons, it's a general consensus these days that because of how long and tedious the business plan can be, it's best when people are just starting well, not even, let me not say it's best, but what a lot of persons end up doing is they put it off. It's too big of a task. It's a mammoth of a task. And that's where the business model canvas comes in. It allows you to get all the impertinent information just at a glance, you know, and you can put it down on paper, one sheet. It has all the information there. And if somebody, a stranger on the street, were to stop you and ask you, hey, you have a business, it's called Yard Country Girls or something. I don't know, that's a terrible business name. But what does this do? If you pull up your business model canvas on the phone, you can say, okay, these are the customers that I serve. These are the value positions that I offer. These are the channels that I go through to offer these value positions. And this is how my company will make money. No. Will you invest with me? Essentially, that's a little made up scenario. So I threw around some words that you guys may not be familiar with a second ago. So let me I put here an example of a business model canvas. And we're going to run through this quickly right now. Then we're going to jump over into another similar example. And what I'm going to do for each section, because you can see here we have 9 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we're going to be doing is for each section, we're going to go through what should be included there. And while we're on each section, I'm going to be providing examples of 3 different types of businesses, 3 different business model canvases, to be honest, from companies that you guys may know, and one hypothetical company, just to drive home the point. And I want to pause at certain times as well to make sure that you guys really understand what's going on. So let's go here. We start with the customer segments. Customer segments is essentially talking about who you are creating value for. In this case, when we say creating value, we don't necessarily mean who are you creating profit for, but who are you providing your service to? You know, who are the most important customers to you? What are their archetypes? What are their descriptions? Where do you find them? And then we jump over from the customer segments on over to the value propositions. Value propositions are essentially what your company provides. It's the product, or it's the experience. It's whatever your company is doing. What problem are you solving? You know, what bundles of products and services do you offer to each of your customer segments? Because over the customer segments, you can have, for example, let's say you have a lotion company. You have a lotion company called Clean Skin, right? Jamaica, where they, you know, we say you have clean skin. So it's a nice pun. I think that's a better business name than my first one. So Clean Skin, we take 3 different aspects. We have 3 different areas of our customer segment. We would say women, because it's scented lotions. So it would be women who like who likes to be moisturized and like to have a fragrance without being overpowering. They don't like perfumes, and there are a lot of persons like that. You also have persons who have just naturally dry skin, and let's just work with those 2 for now. When we jump over, that's the customer segments. Those are the 2 customers. You're targeting women who we have somebody who accidentally unmute. Let me see. There we go. Thank you so much, Alanika. So you have women who would like to be moisturized and have a fragrance, but not be too overpowering. And you have just general people, let's say between the age of 18 and 35, you know, younger persons who have dry skin. The value proposition is, what are you offering to each of these customer segments? Well, for one segment, you're offering them exactly what they want, exactly what they need, which is for the women who, you know, they don't want to be too overpowering. You're giving them that sensation that they can walk out into public, not having to like when you walk down the street, everybody, flowers and bees following you because you're so fragrant, you're so strong, but you just have a nice little subtle smell. And you're also providing a sense of satisfaction and maybe even self-worth in persons who naturally have really dry skin and they need to moisturize it all the time, because your lotion blend, your Clean Skin lotion blend is so great, it's gonna make their skin stay clean and fresh forever. That's the value proposition that you're offering. You also have customer relationships now. How do we get, keep, and grow customers? And we're going to go into, I think I probably shouldn't have spent so much time on this particular slide here because we're going to go into detail with them further on. But we have the channels, which are basically how are you going to get to each of the customers, and which one of these channels, you know, whether the distribution channels or advertising channels to reach the customer, which one works best and which ones are the most cost effective. You have your revenue streams, and which is essentially what are the customers paying for. In an example, they're paying for lotion. That's what they're paying for. In addition, I don't know, they're paying for, you can think about it like for consultation services as well. You can say they I don't know, at some sort of dermatological services, you could say that that's one revenue stream that you offer as well. Is somebody asking a question? Okay, it sounds like it was just a mistake. And then now we jump over and we can see that this side, which would be the right-hand side, is what I would have referred to as the profit centers. And then on the left, we have the cost centers, where we're looking at the cost structure. We're looking at the key resources that you will need in order to provide your value propositions, to provide your lotion and your, you know, the service, the key activities that you need to undergo, you know, which factory do you need to rent, which raw materials do you need to buy, which customer relationship do you need to really zone in on, and of course your key partners, which distributing firm do you need to employ to deliver your lotions, which I don't know, which branding agency do you use to design your product? So that's a little overview of this, of the business model canvas. It all fits on one paper, and it's a brainstorming exercise that once you do it, it really opens your mind as to what you know and what you don't know and what you need to know. So here we have another example here, and let me try to see if we can, hold on. There we go. So you can see here we have the cost centers, like I would have said before, and these are going to be on the slides to come. And we have the profit centers here, which would be all the ones that I would have mentioned before. So now let's jump over and try to understand exactly what each of these mean, and see if we can all understand and see how we can apply that to any business that we're going to make, or a business that we already have. So why is all of this important? The business model canvas cuts out the fluff and it gets to the point. It's a quick overview, and when you understand it, you realize what I mean. It's supposed to be something that it just go 1, 2, 3, and you know what's going on, as opposed to a business plan, which needs to be a lot more detailed with a lot more information. It uses a framework when pitching. It can be used as a framework when pitching your business to investors, rather than to be this big 40-page or 18-page or 10-page document to somebody. You have a 1-page thing that you can just project onto a nice slide or onto a nice cardboard, cartridge paper, or a chart. That's the word I'm looking for, and present it to somebody. You can also use this if you are really inexperienced or you don't have the time, but you really want to get into some business. You have an amazing business idea. You've learned how you've perfected the model of, I don't know, using water as a fuel in cars. You're using hydrogen energy in the cars, because that's a technology that exists already, but it has so many problems, and you solve that problem. And now you don't have any business expertise, but you have an understanding of how to write a business model canvas. So you do that, and then you carry it to us, and we can take it from there. That's all you need to give us. And we can come up with a proper business plan for you. We can even assist you in the business model canvas process as well, But it's such an easy thing to do once you start sitting down and you think about it. Not only that, it's flexible. It's easy to change and update at any time, and it drives innovation because, like I said before, it shows you what you know from what you don't know, what you understand, what you don't understand. Not only that, but by looking at it, any member of your team or any potential investor, it will spark discussion on the different areas, like, okay, why is this in our customer segment? Why is this particular customer right and not another customer? Why don't we add another avenue? Why don't we introduce a new mode to our business plan? Because this one that we have here, based on this business canvas that we made, it looked kind of dry. It looks just not much going on. It's all there on paper, so easy to read and understand. So it really does drive innovation in that way. I hope I brought that across properly for you guys. So now let us get into understanding the different aspects of the business model canvas and looking at the 3 examples that I would have mentioned earlier. So, like I said on, I think 2 slides ago, I split up the business model canvas into 2 sections. And let me just jump right back. We have the profit here, which generally will give you the information on where your profit is coming from, where your revenue is coming from. And then you have the cost centers. And that is how we're going to start it off so that we can understand and try to link it in that way so we can all follow and tie to something that we know. So the first section, like I would have spoken about before, is the customer segment. Who are the customers? Who are the customers for your particular business? What do they seek? What do they think? What do they feel? What do they do? That is what you're trying to answer here. And if you have a note, have a notebook or a notepad or anything like that, you can write these things down. If you can, you can look and see that it's pretty straightforward. It's simple. It's just customer segment. That's the first column that's over on the rightmost corner. It's just who are your customers? What do they think? What do they feel? Let's look at the examples that we have here. Swiggy is a food delivery app. So now for Swiggy, on their business model canvas, their customer segment, the customers who they are dealing with, and what the customers think, what they see, what they feel, what they do, how many people need Swiggy's solution. Let's see what they have to say. So for Swiggy, the food delivery app, it's for people who do not wish to go to restaurants. Simple. And many of us can identify with that in Jamaica as well. That's why you have 7 Crave, you have Big 6 Delivery if you live in Kingston. You have so many different food delivery apps, and it caters to, let's say I love this presentation and I need to eat something and I can't go on the road and buy something. Well, of course, not in COVID times because everywhere is closed now, but let's just hope and assume that, COVID is done just magically. You would call Swiggy or a food service delivery app. I would be involved in their customer segment. Then you also have people who want to order food online and want to get it delivered. Very straightforward. You have people who want to buy and get products delivered by nearby shops and stores. Those would be the types of people who, I guess, because Swiggy, of course, is an American type of thing, there's a big thing with supporting small businesses over there. So for persons who love the idea of supporting local businesses, local shop owner, a restaurant down the street, and you're like, rather than buying from this big franchise, international, multinational franchise KFC, I'm going to buy from Mars Elizabeth shop down the street or down the road, and I'm using the Swiggy delivery food app to get that. I am one of Swiggy. I am involved in Swiggy's customer segment. I am one of the people that they're targeting. Let's look at Tesla. We all know Tesla, and I think Tesla is very famous because of how it kind of rose to fame with a unique business model and an interesting way of doing business due to the leader Elon Musk. So here, persons who Tesla are catering towards would be high net worth individuals. So their business model canvas says right off the bat, we don't want no broke people, if I can speak like that. We want persons who are rich. We want the people who want the luxury life. We also want people who are green buyers. They are environmentally aware. They're conscious about the environment because Tesla sells electric vehicles. We also, not only private consumers, but persons, if you run, I don't know if you guys know, well, everybody should know Wesinco, the distribution company in Jamaica. They will have a fleet of trucks and a fleet of drivers to deliver their products around the island. Wesinco is the company that distributes things like Bowman, D&G, I believe, and a whole lot of different products. When you go to the supermarket, is Wesinco distributed. And Tesla is saying, we are going to provide the vehicles for this type of distribution company, a commercial fleet buyer. Sports car enthusiasts, because they create some beautiful sports car designs. Fans of Elon Musk, which is a legitimate customer segment, because we also, if you look on the customer segment here, it's what they feel, what they see, and what they think, and what they like. That is what you're talking about under the customer segment. I hope I'm driving this home. And then finally, we have the egg collection center. That's like a hypothetical business that many of us can probably start out here as well. You're looking at village customers, persons who live in the rural area. Those are the people you're targeting. Institutions like schools that need to make breakfast and those type of things. Next, on to the second section is the value proposition. That is the product or service that your business provides. So if the customer segment is who you are selling it to, who are your customers, The value proposition is what you're selling them, what service and or what need are you satisfying. Why, you're also going to include why will customers buy from you as opposed to buying from elsewhere? What value are you creating with your business? That's what the value proposition says. It's, if you break down the words of value, what value are you proposing to your customer to get their money as a part of your business model? I'm explaining that well. So common answers to this question would be your particular product has a unique design, or it is new, it is fresh, or you have the ability to customize my particular product, or my lotion or my tea, it has such health benefits that if you buy any other tea, if you buy Tetley tea, or if you buy Kendall tea, you're not gonna get the health benefits that you're gonna get from health strong tea. I don't know. For example, with Twiggy app, that like the core of their value proposition would, I would imagine, be the convenience that they provide. So let's look at some of the examples quickly for value propositions. You're looking at food delivery with no restriction order policy. Meaning if you have ever ordered on with any of these online order apps, there are certain things that you cannot purchase. So what they're saying here is to set themselves apart from, I don't know, Uber Eats or Lyft, because it's an American company, to set themselves apart from Uber Eats or Lyft or any company like that. They're saying those companies limit what you can order from your restaurants. Our company does not limit you at all. Our next value proposition from Swiggy food delivery app would be no minimum order requirement, because even in Jamaica, you have to spend at least, I think $600 or $1,000 if you're going to use one of the apps. You know, you can only use certain types of payment methods. But with Swiggy, you can use a whole slew of different payment methods. It doesn't just have to be a Visa card or a MasterCard. It can be a Discover card. It can be American Express. Let's look at Tesla, the value propositions, right? You have, let me see here. You can charge your car anywhere. You don't need a gas station per se. It can allow for autonomous driving capability, for example, and that's what's unique. That's what they're offering to their customers. And then we have the value proposition for egg collection center. You get eggs that are free of the fish meal smell. To be honest, I don't know what that means, but you get disease-free eggs. That's a good thing because, you know, any protein-based product can have a potential to carry a lot of different deadly diseases. And they're saying our eggs are so great that you're not gonna be exposed to that type of situation. That's the value that we offer you. Now, on to the third profit center or customer block on the business, under the business model canvas, that would be your customer relationship. So remember, we go through the customer segment. Who are your customers? We go through the value proposition. What are you offering them that they will buy from you as opposed to all of the other businesses out there? Now we're on to the customer relationships. How do you get and keep your customers? And it's pretty straightforward. So for example, you could say, let me look at Swiggy. They have 24/7 active customer support. So anytime you want to call them, you can get them. That is something that will make you say, oh yes, man, use Swiggy. Don't use Big Six or don't use any other company out there, because if you call them after 3 p.m., you can't get them. But no, if there's an issue with Swiggy, 24/7, you can call them and you can get them. That's a part of their customer relationship. It makes people want to do business with them. The social media pages, that's how you interact with your customers. Oh, we're doing a poll, we're doing a competition this time. What do you guys like? This is a promotion. We're gonna give 5 free deliveries to the first 50 people, or I don't know who sign up with us or who like this post. I hope we're all seeing here, right here, we have a little bit of a typo under the Tesla example, but under the Tesla customer relationship, it has personal assistance, and I'm zoning in on that one because remember that for Tesla, their customer segment would be for rich, high-end clientele. So what would those type of people want? to develop for them to foster a lasting relationship with their company. Clearly, they're going to be the type of people who want personal assistance. They're going to be the one who want customer intimacy and great customer service as well. And with the egg collection business, you know, you can just imagine what a lot of those things are as well. Go down to the channels. So now the channels describe how you reach your customer. How will products or services reach customers? Essentially, is what the channels speak to. Let's look at Swiggy. How the customer is going to interact, how they're going to get the service from Swiggy is through a mobile app, or they're going to get it through the Swiggy website, or they're going to get it through digital marketing. When you're on Instagram and you see an ad that says, hey, order from Swiggy now, and you click that and it carries you to the interface that you can use to order. That's the channel through which you go from customer to the service of the business. That's how you get to them. I hope I'm making this clear. And let me stop and ask, is everybody following me, or is everybody asleep because it's past 7 now?
Not following and understanding.
Following you.
Okay, perfect. And let me ask though as well, is there any question? Because I feel like I've been speeding through a little bit. Are there any questions at all? No?
Not really questions, just that if it's anything, I'll reiterate that basically all of these different sections that you're going to for the business model canvas, it's all towards understanding how it works. So for example, the channels that you're on right now, it's just showing how we reach the customer. So it makes sense. That I have no questions, honestly.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. True, very true. All right, so then we're gonna move on now to, and I thank you for summarizing it in that way as well. So now we go over to the revenue streams. And this will be the final aspect of the customer block. We're gonna find out, where does the money come from? What strategy will you use to capture the most value from your customers? It needs to be detailed, and I think I didn't drive that point home as well before. That, let me just jump right back. Under the customer segment, for Tesla, you're specifically targeting high net income worth individuals. So you're specifically targeting people who love Elon Musk. You're specifically targeting sports car enthusiasts. You're being specific with every single aspect for your value proposition, right? For your value proposition, you're specifically targeting, let me see, under egg, the egg collection center, you're specifically targeting people who want competitive market prices. Specific document, just like everything that has to do with businesses. Let me check in the quick, I'm seeing something. And that yes. So we can just breeze one and jump over to the business plan section. So the revenue stream, where does the money come from? What strategies will you use to capture the most value from your customers? Swiggy, where do they get their money from? This is the meat of the matter, and this is what a lot of businesses need to think about and be specific on. For Swiggy, the food delivery company, you are going to be charging for your deliveries, right? Because you purchase from a business, you purchase a box food for $600. However, because Swiggy is delivering it to you, they are going to charge you $300 on top of that to deliver the food, right? They are going to take commissions from the companies that list on the Swiggy mobile app, for example. So, Mass Elizabeth's shop is on the Swiggy mobile app, and a lot of people use the Swiggy mobile app. So because they're associated with Swiggy, they are getting more people ordering their business through them. So because of that, Swiggy can charge that business they can charge them a commission for basically giving them more or less, all this exposure and generating more income into the restaurant's business. Additionally, in Tesla, what revenue streams? Automotive sales. Obviously, they are a car selling company. Automotive leasing, they lease the cars to different areas. Energy generation and storage, because since they're selling electric vehicles, they have a facet of their business that will look at the batteries that they make, which are going to be some of the best in the world, since their vehicles are going to run on only batteries. And for the egg collection center, which, you can see it's a little bit lacking here. It's just the sale of eggs produced. There's more that can be developed here. There's more that you can add on, but it's a good start. And it goes to show that with the business model canvas for each of these sections, you just put the most obvious thing for now. And as you progress and as you continue, you learn more and you really fine tune how you're going to operate your business, the way in which you are going to provide value to your customers. Next, now we're in the cost centers, right? That would be the infrastructure block, I would call it. That the aspects of your business that are going to come out of your pocket, that's going to cause an outflow. So first, we're looking at the key resources. This asks, on this section, we're wondering, what are the most important strategic assets that are required for the business model to work? What unique strategic assets must the business have in order to, for example, you can look at your physical resources, your human resources. You have all, the different types of resources. So your equipment, what equipment do you need in order to operate a food delivery service? What equipment do you need in order to run Tesla or to have an egg collection center? So for Swiggy, you're going to need, one of the key resources will be local restaurants and shops. And that goes to show you how you can think of the business model that is very fluid in terms of what it provides for you. So here we're looking at, the key resource is local restaurants and shops, because that is where you will be getting the crux of your service as a food delivery center. Also the delivery providers, because you need the bike men to drive around and deliver the products, as well as the technology that will run the app that will be used to get it to get Swiggy, your service to your customers. In terms of Tesla, we're looking at the engineering and design is one of the resources, the key resources, because they are a groundbreaking technology company. We have battery production. That's one key resource, because the battery is at the center of the car. Literally can't operate without it. It doesn't use gas. And then on the egg collection center, it's the land that you're using for the chickens to eat and to grow. It is the chicken production, the chickens for the egg production, as well as the egg collection center itself, are the resources that you need in order to operate your business. So that's what we're talking about here under the key resources. Next, we're looking at the key activities, which are essentially the most important strategic things you must do in order to make the model work. So key resources would be the assets that are required for the most important, the strategic assets. What do you need to have in order to produce? And then with your key activities, you are looking at what things must you do in order for your business model to be functional. So for example, with Swiggy, you need to partner with eaters and retail shops. That's a clear, obvious key activity. Like, you have to do that. If you don't do that, then your business is not going anywhere. You need to hire delivery providers, and you need to manage the delivery and the payment process. If we're looking at the egg collection center, you need, one key activity is to be producing eggs and to be able to produce eggs such that it can meet demand. You need packaging, because you can't just have the eggs in a paper bag. You need and of course, selling the eggs, because that's how you're going to make your profit. And in Tesla, research and development, since it's a new company, it's a groundbreaking company, those are the types of activities that you would be undertaking in your business model canvas. Next, we'll move on to...
Can I ask a question here, Andre?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so when it comes down to the infrastructure part of it. So I am basically trying to get into agri-tech businesses. I've been in a few training programs. I've gone through the business model canvas multiple times. Where I get the gridlock is that the industry that I want to go in, though it is understandably an industry that can bring profits, the information as to what I would need, for example, what is kind of tricky to get. What, like, for example, what are your suggestions when there's an industry that like the players are like, quote unquote, maybe secretive? Because you have some businesses, though they are successful, especially on the Jamaican front, the information, the research data is not there for you to know, okay, I would need this machinery. This machinery would be ideal for me to be profitable, right? There's not much information that is, because I've been in a program, I told them exactly what I was going to do with the grant that they were going to give to me, and then they basically, I don't know if you call it, railroad me and just gave me what they felt that they wanted to give me. So I was just left in the, you know, dark, like, what do I do next? So when you're going into an industry that though it is profitable, I don't have the convenience to go and work for those persons who have a business like this. So I know that, okay, I can go into this business, learn the skills, you know, get insider knowledge, which is what a lot of persons do. They work for a company, they say, okay, I can improve it this way. So I know what I need. What are your suggestions for somebody in that, we say, between a rock and a hard place to get information that is crucial to take out, especially when working with limited resources?
Okay, so beautiful, wonderful question. If I'm not mistaken, so you run an agro-tech business. Before I answer, let me ask specifically, what do you do? What's your value proposition? Let's use the terms. What do you provide?
Well, the thing about it, you know, with the UN's sustainability goals and SDGs and all of that, I am basically in plant production. So, but I want to tap into, because I know hotels and other big companies, but I want to go to the average man communities and institutions like schools that we really need to tap into. But I need to get a profitable business or a business plan off the ground that I can get investors, because I say, especially COVID, it hit me like hard. So all that I plan to invest in my business. So I need to have a proper business, because I did the model canvas, you know, by myself, sole proprietor, get it off the ground, but then COVID hit. So now I need to put it in a way that I can get outside investment, and that is one of my major problems. Because, you know, when you do it yourself, you play around with your numbers, you play around with your what you have, your limited resources. But now I have to go large, because I heard you talking about that $7 million grant, and I know that if I don't have a smashing business plan, which requires insider knowledge in these type of businesses, I can't wait time. I can't take another 2 years to try and get off the ground with this. If not, it's just going to have to just die, basically.
Okay.
So what would you suggest?
So what I would suggest, so your main concern, first of all, you're in the right place. You would definitely need to have a consultation session with us, and we can work hand in hand with you to make sure that, you know, you can get the information, because that's what we do. We find that information for you, and we have a wellspring of content as well. But also, you had mentioned something, the equipment, well, if I understand the crux of your question, you would want to know, the goal for you is to access some of these grants, to expand your business and to tap into different...
Yes, I want to go large. I want to go large, because it's always easy to go small and, you know, build it and learn as you go. But based on COVID-19 and how it has rearranged my plans, I need to go large. And that would mean I need to have more detail. As I said, you can approach certain investors with just a business model canvas. But then if you're approaching bigger investments, you need to have an actual detailed business plan.
Right.
And it's not that I don't know that the business can be successful, because there are business operating who are successful.
Okay. So what I would... No, ahead.
So there are competitors there, and there is a limitation, because I've seen where there has been limitation on certain types of plants and, you know, just information, because just myself, it is lacking. Persons, for example, will buy a plant and the company then just plant, them don't know a name, they don't know if you carry, then just hear a plant. And I know a lot of plant enthusiasts who will spend big bucks for a particular plant if they're able to maintain it and care for it.
Let me tell you, what I would suggest is that, like I said, we would need to have a proper long discussion, go through all you say you have a business model canvas already, that's great. We would have a nice meeting with you and we go through the different aspects and tell you what, and guide you through step by step what you can do.
Okay, I'll be reaching out.
Yes, you should definitely reach out, because we can assist. Like
I know that you heard, but I've been to even talk to UWI persons, and it's like in Jamaica, I don't know what is wrong with Jamaicans, honestly. Sorry for tapping into your conversation so long, but there's not much concise details on anything at all when it comes on to STEM, like science, technology. It's like they do a one research. I went on a UTech website, I think, or UWI, and they were doing this database that had about plants, zones, and benefits. And when I clicked on majority of those links, it was just a picture of the fruit. I'm like, really?
Yeah, listen.
I clicked on pear. It was just a pear picture. And I'm like, really?
I want you to send, if Lenika could probably jot it down, to send your email in the chat we want, or you can just reach out to us, because everything that you're speaking of, like you would have heard, plants, that's what I do, that's what I studied. I double major on plant biology and economics. The information that you require, I have it in spades, and I can provide it to you, and have the contacts that can get the type of information that you need and can assist you in reaching where you need to reach. So definitely reach out to us. I want to hurry up and breeze through the rest of this, but I understand exactly what you mean. I understand exactly what you mean, and we can definitely help you.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Yes, there's one other person that wanted to say something. Should I go now, Lenika? What are you thinking? Because we haven't even touched the business plan section yet. Oh my. Lenika? Oh, we don't have her. You cannot hear us. Well, regardless, so quick guys. So let's take the last question. I think that
Hey guys. Currently, I'm not even in Jamaica. The state. My daughter linked me onto you guys, and I'm really excited. But I really want to talk to you about that business plan. I don't know if you do things like across the water from Jamaica to here in the United States. So I'm not sure.
Okay, yes, that is definitely something that we can assist with as well. So we would definitely have to have a separate section. And we're just about finished on the business model canvas part. Maybe not too long on this as well, because we have 30 more minutes. Because what I want to go through, and especially in Jamaica, in the Jamaican context, what I wanted to go through was what the Jamaica Business Development Corporation has as a beautiful template for what should be in the business, in your business plan. And what we do is, in addition to the free book that you're gonna be getting from us, we add all of the information that you will require as well. We have, the content, it's there, you just have to know where to find it, and we know where to find it. So, I mean, this is just making me very happy that you guys are in the session right now. The only thing that making me sad is that we have 30 more minutes and I haven't covered the business plan yet. So let me ask, everybody should be on the right track in terms of this model canvas, right? The business plan, we're not gonna have as much we're not gonna have as much time to spend on it in detail, but we can cover the different, and see, I was just about to get to questions on this first half. We can cover the difference that you should be looking to add and how you'll be able to add them. And then you can reach out to us privately and also review the document that we'll be sending you. And when you come to the consultation with us with your business canvas, if you can, that would really help, because it will show that you know what you want for your business and where it's going and who you're selling to and how much it's going to cost. The is kind of good with the business canvas, if I'm not mistaken, right? You can just shoot me a message.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so essentially now, and let me just skip right over the introductions as well, because we wanted to go into writing the business plan. Hold on, give me a second, let me touch this back again. And you know, business plan, formal written document, it describes in detail the vision, the market competitors, the personnel, the marketing strategy. It's taking from the business model and it's expounding on everything. It's giving you the figures, it's giving you the projections, it's giving you all of that. Let me point this out as well, just in case we don't get there. Even in doing the business plan and consulting with e-Biome, we will need to speak with, especially if you're going to a bank for, if you're going to a particular institution for a grant, you need to be checked by an auditor. To make sure that the financial projections that you put they're viable. You're not just pulling it out of a hat. So there's a lot of aspects to the business plan. And let me jump right over then into that aspect. Let me see, new share, and what I'm gonna do. All right, give me 5 minutes. Well, not 5 minutes, give me like about 2 minutes. And I'll be right back and we can jump and try to go through aspects of the business plan. And afterwards, of course, we do a quiz or a little test and we, see what we can understand. Give me a moment. All right, here we go. And let me just open, give me a sec. It's a 17-page document. And we'll be sharing here, PDF this time around. Are we able to see the screen?
Yes,
okay, perfect. So what we want to do here, as you can see, and I made a point of leaving this in. Oh, look at that. Yeah, a lot of persons in here really do seem to be in consensus that it's difficult to find the information in Jamaica. And I guess before I continue, let me just comment on that to say that it's the unfortunate reality that yes, you really do have to hire professionals to dig that information up for you, because Jamaica does have an access to information problem. Either way, let us jump right in and see where we can go. So essentially, we are going to be going through step by step, just glancing through the different aspects of the business plan. And well, let me ask one more time. Oh my gosh, Shanika said the lack of data causes us to pull numbers out of hats. Maybe I'm late to that joke. All right, let me make sure I understand. Shanika, that was you who was speaking to me before about your plant business, correct?
Yes. And I've been to RADA everywhere. It's just like, did or there's not a consensus.
There's not necessarily a consensus. We because I am culture animation.
Rather times point to another.
No, here, oh, hold on. There we go. There we go. The business information. So here what I'm circling, you have the executive summary, which you write that last. You're summarizing the key components of your business plan. And then you have things like the history of the business, your mission statement, the goals and objectives, the keys to success, your SWOT analysis, your industry analysis, your product and service description. Well, let me just jump back up, right? Ending at SWOT analysis. So history of the business to SWOT analysis is kind of like the overview. It's similar to the business model canvas, but just not as condensed. It's stretched out a little bit more. You have your marketing analysis, where you're going to look at things like your target market, your competition, what your specific marketing strategy is going to be, who you're going to hire, how much you're going to pay them, and all of those things, the operations, where it's going to be located, your technology, the capacity that you can hold and produce for, as well as how your team is going to be organized. Is it going to be, you have a board of directors, or you're going to just be you one, bopping around and trying to see what you can get done? And then, of course, your financials. And one type of analysis that you can do, there are several different types, is the break-even analysis. So, like I said before, you have your executive summary. Here, you're summarizing the entire plan. You write it after everything is done. Nothing much there. When we're in the midst of, well, what I should say is, this is what, it's important. Don't overlook it, because when you carry to for example, the business development plan, give me a second. The Development Bank of Jamaica had a little brain fart just then. When you bring your business plan to the Development Bank of Jamaica, and you're trying to get some sort of grant from them or anything like that, they want to make sure that you are able to summarize completely what your business will be and will do, because you're selling them, you're telling them, give me $2 million, give me $7 million, and this is how it's gonna, and this is why, and I am prepared. So that is very important right from the jump for somebody who doesn't want to read through the whole document, which is gonna be much longer than 17 pages. You can just read your executive summary. Next, the history of the business. Not much to talk about there. You're just going to focus on the aspects of your business history that will assist you in getting what you need to get from the business plan. So it's the activities that your business would have been carrying out since its culmination, since it started. For a newer business, maybe you don't even need to include that per se, but this is for older businesses, of course, or, like Shanika, who has something already. What have you been doing? Have you been contributing to society in any way? Have you been, so there's a lot of different aspects that you can include in the history of your business. Then your mission statement, and I'm going to read this verbatim for you guys. Your mission statement explains the philosophy. It explains the philosophy and the reasons for your business existence. Why your business exists. What are you looking to do? And therefore it kind of encapsulates where you're looking to go. It's your mission. It should capture your commitment to customers, to the environment, and to staff. Your mission statement would serve as a guide to your business's development, like I just said. So a lot of people will think, oh, mission statement, vision statement, don't necessarily need it. Well, you do, because what it shows you, and they literally want to see this, it shows that you have a plan for the future. It shows that when you get this, let's say you get a $2 million grant, and you've decided that you want to develop a new smartphone app, and you've developed the app. What next? Is it that your whole purpose for your business was just to develop the app and just make money? Or is it that, your purpose is increase the availability of technology in Jamaica, such that, you know, we don't have as low I don't know, a rate of technological prowess in the country, something like that, along those lines. And of course, we can assist you in, and there's so many resources online that you can use to show you how to formulate your mission statement. It's the core of the decisions that you make. It's the core of your business plan. It's the core of your actions. It's your mission. It's what your business is there for, not just for money, but there must be something additional that your business is striving to do. e-Biome, we're focused so much on the blue economy because we're trying to expose how incredible this resource is, and how it's not tapped into at all. We're trying to improve the availability of information, as a lot of you would have said, because with our many research assistants and research coordinators around the Caribbean, we provide you with expertise that you would have not been able to access otherwise. So, you know, I should have gotten it from our managing director, our mission statement to put here so you can get an idea of what I mean. So now, then we go on to our goals and objectives. Again, another aspect of the business plan that people will think, oh, well, it's very important. It is so important, especially if the purpose of your business plan is to give it to another organization, such as the Development Bank of Jamaica for any sort of grant, or any other, the Exim Bank out here, that's the Import-Export Bank, or Export-Import Bank of Jamaica, that offers different business plans. Let me see. Okay, good. Just checking in the chat. So they want to know what the specific goals are for your business, or for the money that you would be taking, or for the amount of money that you want, or for your what's your target, and then the objectives. How are you going to achieve those targets? That is very important if you're asking for money from anybody at all. Think about it. If you have a child, you have a daughter, and she said, you know, Daddy, I need $10. You're going to want to buy. And you're going to want, because you want to make sure that when you give them this $10,000, they are doing exactly what they need to with the $10,000. And they know that $10,000 is enough. Or maybe $10,000 is too much. And based on what they require, they only need $5,000. So you give them $5,000 and say, no, it don't cost $10,000 to, I don't know, sew up your dress. It don't cost, you know, so that's the type of information here. So the goal is your target, and the objective is how you're going to get to the target. A good example here is your goal is to achieve sales of $2 million by the year of 2015. This is an old plan, but it still stands today. And your objective will be increasing sales 10% annually. That's exactly what you will be doing every year to increase your sales. I would take it even further than this to say, for a particular, I'm gonna use, I think, see, I'm mixing up your name already. Shana K, is it? Let me see. Shanika. There we go. So, yes. So I'm gonna use Shanika's business. One of your goals will be to expand your business into, let's say, I don't know, the net value of your business right now is 100,000. You want to expand to a net worth in your business to 1 million within 2 years time, for example. And the objective will be exactly what you're going to do to get there. So you need to be as detailed as possible with your objectives. So specifically, you are going to foster one of your objectives to get to increase by, I think that would be, I'm not sure what the percentage on that, but to increase your value of your business from $100,000 is how much the full valuation of your business is worth. And you want to increase that to 1 million by 2 years time, long period of time, but still, you are going to specifically target and create relationships with new companies, with new businesses. You're going to try to develop contracts between these specific banks or these specific hotels to service your plans. You are going to consult for, or to provide, to become a part of the value chain in a lot of these, in a real estate company, for example. You want to become a part of their logistics chain. That's one of your objectives, to have 3 new. So one objective could be, I want to add 3 additional real estate developer clients that will take plants or purchase plants from me for landscaping, things like that. So toward the goal of increasing the value of your business. So here we have a little table that you can also use as well, that would show you want to increase your sales to 2 million. What's the target? When should it happen? Between a year, and what is needed to make it happen, right? So your goal here, you want to increase from 100,000 to 1 million. I can put that into percentages, but let's just put it like that. And then the time frame, because it has to be as specific as possible, because they're going to be tracking you. And if you know how to use Microsoft projects, or if you know how to use a Gantt chart any at all, it comes in handy to include that information as well. You need to be as detailed and as specific as you can be. If you don't know how to use Microsoft projects or anything like that, that's a possibility that we could do a quick run through, or provide some information as to how to use those software as well. And then what is needed to make it happen would be your objectives. Like I would have said, keys to success, the elements of critical importance of your business. Think about your key activities in your business model, canvas, I mean. Think about your value propositions in your business model, canvas. You want to identify one unique way to create a competitive advantage that will strengthen the chances of your success, right? That is what you're looking at for your, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to look in the chat while I'm talking, and I probably need to go a little bit faster because we're almost gonna be finished, out of time. But if we're engaged enough, we can speed through, and then we have a little more questions at the end, take some information, and we can set up some consultation meetings for us to assist you in your business plan preparations. Anyway, so for example, the key to success for John's consultancy is product development. The need to continuously develop new products and improve on those that are known to the public. Our unique selling proposition or value proposition is to use the latest in technology to deliver our services. If we're using Shanika's business, for example, her keys to success will be gaining a wider array or focusing on a wider array of clientele, for example, or it could be access to more detailed information. So that's one thing that will be instrumental in the success of your business, because you want to know, all right, how do you cater for this particular plant? Which fertilizer do you use? What is the cation exchange capacity that it can withstand? What are, should it be slow release or fast release, personalized, or what are the pests that affect it? What are the considerations that you should take into, what are the considerations for you to grow your business, for you to be successful at your goals that were listed above, and toward your mission statement. So again, and the way our wording that is to drive home the point that the business plan needs to be cohesive. When you're starting it, let me just drop on a little tip. It's good to just start and just write something, especially if you have a business model canvas. You take all of these sections and you just write something. And then you go through a second time and you try to link them together and you fine tune it. And that is how we do it. Next, we're going over to the SWOT analysis. This is where you're going to really be evaluating your business. 9 more minutes, Lord. You guys are going to kill me because I'm moving too slow. So the SWOT analysis, or maybe it's just too much information in one sitting. So this is the summary of the strengths and weakness, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Essentially, the strengths and weaknesses are internal to your business, those which you can control. So within the SWOT analysis, one strength of Shanika's plant business is that, I don't know, well, I was just about to say it's pretty resilient to a pandemic, but
well,
it is really.
One strength was that a lot of, like, apart from nurseries that cater to like hotels and stuff, it didn't have much persons targeting like schools and other things. But with this UN thing and COVID and forestry and rather, everybody had dashed free plants, them sick, them mash on my business. Because they started giving away free plants. So it like just, that was a threat that I didn't, like, I could never forecast.
You could never have forecasted that, yeah. But and then I guess that's why it's good to do the SWOT analysis, but also to include the assumptions, because that's a part of your business plan and your business model canvas as well. To put what are your assumptions, and it's, you need to think, it's always good to think about things like that. I am assuming that the demand and supply structure in the island for ornamental and horticultural plants will not be disrupted by an external factor. I don't know if I said that in all sort of fancy words, but that's essentially one of your assumptions that would prove to be untrue in this particular situation. But maybe next year it won't be true, but it is a continuous threat, and now you know it as a threat. Opportunities would be, so the opportunities originate from external forces, most of which you have no control over. Well, the opportunities and threats, and how they affect your business. So even though one threat was that less people, because so many plants are being given out for free, one opportunity is that, if I'm not mistaken, there is this big, what is it called? A housing scheme under construction in Montego Bay right now.
Yeah, I decided to go and approach that is on my to-do list.
Yes, there we go. And that is a big opportunity, because I know people who are in the same game that you're in as well, and I'm gonna dip my toe into it soon too. They are enough plans to go around too, because they need to landscape these houses. That's a massive opportunity for a business like what you have there. So it's just to really take a step back and think about all possibilities. There we go. So I know I feel like I'm zoning a little bit too much in on you, but I just really, you're touching on my type of thing that's in my interest, Industry analysis.
That's okay, because we're here for opportunities. That's great. I'm learning too.
Oh, perfect. Very, very, very happy to hear that. Thank you, because I was really worried. All right. Breeze through industry analysis. No. You would have seen I did economics. I don't want to get too crazy with you guys on the industry analyses that we could look at. However, let us just read this verbatim and say, your analysis should take account a description of the trends within the industry. So personally, I would say one trend is that there are an increase in housing schemes and hotels and those type of things being built in Jamaica. Another trend to shift over into another field or industry is the proliferation of the BPO sector. So if your business is tangentially benefited or affected by the BPO environment, the trend of Jamaica, because first it was just Sutherland, then Ibex come, then Alorica, then you have a million data means you have all of them, they're just coming, they're populating like crazy, right? That's a trend in Jamaica. And another trend is the tendency to not leave. So if go back to the food delivery service that I had. there's a huge tendency in Jamaicans now, as a result of the pandemic, to be hesitant to go out on the road. There's a trend to just stay home. Like people don't want to go out as much, or at least a certain people, depending on your target audience. Because some people will always want to go out, they want to party, or they want this or that. But I don't know, people like me who maybe would have been out and about a little bit more. No, if I can call somebody and deliver the food to me, call somebody and I don't know, taxi services that never used to be a huge thing in Jamaica, they are on the rise. So it depends on your industry. You're going to analyze those types of trends. You're going to look at how it has changed in the past couple of years, and you have to be specific. Always have to be specific with your business plan. So you're going to say within the past 5 years, it's changed this much. And therefore you can project when we get on down to the projections. Which government regulations have happened? There's this thing called the pestle analysis that you can use to do your industry analysis, which looks at, if I'm not mistaken, the political, the social, environmental, PES, social, technological, I think it's economic, and L is eluding me, but you look at all of those different factors. Yes, there we go. But not there's an additional E at the end, no, sir.
Yeah, they added the additional E. I don't remember what it is, but it's recently added to it. It's the same pronunciation. I did a course a few months away.
Okay. Okay, I see. Now let's jump over into, well, we have 8 more minutes. All right. The good thing is that we have the ebook. What I want us to quickly get an understanding of, and I'm so sorry because I don't want to go over the time. If we're all okay with an additional 15 to 30 minutes, then sure, if some of us want to leave, then we can, because we're really just going through this, and I wanted to get down to this. I wanted to get down to this section here where we would, let me see, we would kind of give an idea of how the financial aspect of it, which, by the way, more likely than not, you're gonna need to hire an auditor, an official auditor, to look over these figures. However, it's good to have an idea of what you're putting in there. But we're nearing the end, like the time is basically up, and you guys signed up for 6 to 8. So let me just ask, shall we continue? Are you guys okay? Let me check if anybody can tell me in the comments. When they say financials. Yes, the ebook, so the ebook will be emailed to you if I'm not mistaken. Then let me see, she should be answering. Abigail, she's saying continue, perfect. Everybody else is okay with the continuation. If not, you can just disconnect. That's quite all right as well. You'll still be getting your ebook. You just submit the forms, and you submit your evaluation. So let us continue here. I'm so sorry for going over the time. All right, I think everybody should be okay. Everybody who's staying behind, right? Can you give me some confirmation?
Well, there was no, so I guess everybody wants to. We're all business persons and we want the information.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. You sound like you're gonna make it in. All right, let's go. Let me jump right back over. So we just touched on the industry analysis. We touched on looking at things like the pestle analysis that we can do. The SWOT analysis, of course, is to give an overview of the business, but we look at the trends within the particular sector that you are using. And it can be anything. Let me kind of just zone in a little bit here as well. The business plan, especially given the purpose of making it, if you're just making it a business plan just to have it, to guide you, because that is one of the functions of the business plan. One of the benefits, it's a good guide. Then it's going to be different than when you're creating it to receive funding, or when you're creating it to get additional investors. So you're essentially trying to sell. Like if you've ever read an IPO, so many IPOs were coming out back in the a couple of, I think last year, it was like so many different IPOs coming out. So I had an opportunity to read so many different ones. And you will see that it's worded in such a way that they're giving you the factual information. However, they are selling you on their product. And what is that product? Their business, their shares. They are telling you that their business is going to go somewhere. So that's kind of how you're going to do your industry analysis as well. You're going to show that you need to be as factual as possible. You can't just pack it in with fluff alone. But you need to really take a moment and think about, all right, what are all the trends that are happening right now that will be beneficial? You need to have all of the trends happening in Jamaica that will be beneficial to you. And you also need to come up with all of the trends that will be detrimental to your business as well. You want to prove and to show that where the market in your industry, in horticulture, or if you're in dentistry, or if you're in, I don't know, customer service, if you're in a restaurant business, if you're in logistics, you want to show that based on the trends in Jamaica, your business will be able to achieve the goals that were set up top. You know, your objectives are realistic based on the industry analysis. Again, it's a comprehensive document. It's a cohesive document. Everything should tie in. If you're not just including the different sections just to have it, you're including it to, it's almost like you're making an essay. When you're writing an essay, you start with your topic sentence, and every single sentence that follows your topic sentence is to the point of driving home your topic sentence as being true. That's how you can think of the business plan. So your industry analysis is driving home the point that despite what negative thing can be happening, of course, you're going to be including your graphs, you're going to be including an analysis of the graphs and all of those stuff. And despite the negatives that are happening, that are going on, the positives are so great and on such an interesting upward trajectory that your business is the one to be. You are in the industry that you should be in. And if you're not, then you're going to change it around and see how you can assist, or you can move forward. Sorry, I have to keep checking the chats to see if anybody's dropping anything there. Next, let's drop into our product and service description. So here, similar to our, if you already have your value proposition from your business model canvas, right here, it makes it a lot easier because you've already fleshed it out, right? And that's why I was giving an example, whatever went over it. The business model canvas is like the engine, and the business plan is tantamount to the car. So your car cannot run without the engine, and the engine by itself is useless. They go hand in hand. So that's a good way to think about it. Absolutely. All right. So in the production, let's see, the product service description. So this is where you're going to clearly describe the product and services you will be offering to your customers. So for example, John's Training and Consultancy will be offering adult education and remedial reading to the target market. Our suite of services will also include assessment of learning disabilities, conflict management, training, and private tutoring. If you recognize here, it's specific, but I think it can be a little bit more specific as well. You know, you're offering adult education, right? Oh, well, here we go. We have the package. This is, well, I would have to take a look at what they mean in terms of the size part, but talking about the product description is your adult education. How much are you going to charge? What are the features of the particular product or service? And you can sprinkle, feel free to, because this is your business plan, this is your business, you can always sprinkle in more things that is just written here. What gives your product or service value? You know, what is the impetus behind the pricing strategy that you use, even though we're gonna get there, but it's all tied in. So that's pretty straightforward. You're just describing your product or service. And for a section like this, you're gonna just write down every single thing. You're starting with most lists, you're gonna list the most important thing first, right at the top, and then you continue with the rest of it, right? So if you're selling plants, that is your main thing, your main, give me a second, I'm trying to remember the term for the business model. Your main value proposition is ornamental plants, Shanika, then you are going to list that first. But if an additional service is that you offer landscaping services, means that after you sell them the plant itself, you also help them to irrigate their property. That's a service that you provide as well. Or you also help them to lay the foundation, like, what do they call it? You know what I mean?
Like the stone walls and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. So, or you install your different waterfall things, or you offer fish management services, all of those other things that are secondary, that are not necessarily your main focus. Those are gonna come after, clearly, because the main thing that you're focusing on and selling is the plants. Yes, let me just check. For November 25th, you have until November 15th to complete the assessment. Okay, good. Just checking into the chat. I want to make sure that everything is nice and tight. All right, next we're going into the market analysis. Now, this is a very bare bones aspect of your market analysis, but the market analysis is so important, and a lot of persons, a lot of agencies, they read the executive summary, then jump down to the market analysis, because we want to know, are you realistic? Because we are operating within well, maybe that's just how I think. We're operating within an economy, and we need to make sure that this business owner or whosoever prepared this business plan has a good grasp of economics and consumer behavior, right? So it is so important, because the consumer is at the center of your business. So you need to be able to identify your target market, right? It's the segment of the market. Well, you don't even have to say that, the segment of the market that you'll be targeting. Primary target of our service will be Jamaicans with learning disabilities, for example. The primary, and you can link this back to our customer segment, which you would have already had. You know, it kind of ties in there. That was talking about a specific customer, but the market could also be looking at, you're looking for the market for, let me think about something. I don't know. Let me check. Somebody let me see. Somebody said the session is right on time. I'm so glad. All right. So yes, I was trying to find another example for what you could include in your target market, but I don't want to just focus only on Shanika's business. I'm trying to come up with something as well. A restaurant. If you're going to open a new health positive restaurant in Jamaica, because everybody's getting fat, especially in quarantine, people not exercising as much as they should, people buying more KFC, the KFC lines long all right now, even though quarantine are gone. Curfew happened, people still stand up with a KFC if you eat more chicken. They might get fat and they're unhealthy, and your business is possibly providing a new type of service, a new type of meal that tastes just as good as the fried chicken, but it is way healthier. You know, your target market would be persons who are concerned about their health. Your target market would be persons who like to experiment with food. They're open, you know, so you need to think about that, and you can always, it's a good advice to always look at similar businesses in the industry already and try to extrapolate as much information as you can from them. A lot of times it can be difficult, but the thing is, if it was easy to do, everybody would do it. And what comes, there's another saying, I'm trying to remember it, but anything that's worth having is worth working hard for, something like that. So it's not gonna be an easy 1, 2, 3 process. It's gonna be something that you really have to take some time on, that you really have to to work hard at, but it can be done. One last thing that I wanted to touch on under the target market section is that, wait, no, sorry, jump right out of my brain. Jump right out of my brain, you know. All right, we'll leave it alone. It's gonna come back up later down in the document. Anyway, back to the consumer. So onto the consumer profile. That's where you're gonna describe in graphic detail. You're gonna be so personal. You want them to show that you know your customer, because when you're developing your advertising campaign, when you're deciding the statements that you're gonna put out about your business and the people who you're gonna be liaising with, you need to know specifically this person that you're targeting. I just remembered what I was gonna say about the target market. Something very, very important, if you have a pen to write, you can write this down, is that you need to be able to identify hubs. A hub in the sense that where can groups of your particular customer be found? That is very important. For example, if you are, I live in close proximity to the University of the West Indies. If you are somebody who works in event planning, that means that you assist with setting up for parties and setting up for, you know, the carnival and all of those things. You need to station yourself such that you have access to the universities, because no matter what, you will have a constant replenishing supply of persons who will be in need of your service when you're at the university. You get what I'm saying? Or if you are selling, like Shanika is in a perfect position. She knows where she can find hubs, a customer hub, because she's in Montego Bay that's undergoing rapid development in terms of requiring a lot of landscaping. So you know for a fact that if you go along the beachfront, all along the beachfront within a particular area in Montego Bay, that is where you can find potential customers. But for whatever business it is, whether it be a landscaping business, whether it be an event planning service, if it's even you are a photographer, you need to know, all right, where can I find people who are interested in taking photographs and paying me for it? You're going on Instagram, you're going on Facebook, you need to know where you can find large groups of your customers. If you cannot locate groups of your target customer, then your business is gonna be in trouble. You may need to rethink your business strategy. You need to know exactly when the time comes to look for clients, or for clients to come, or for you to advertise, you need to know exactly where you'll be advertising. So that's very important. That's what I wanted to bring up just then. Next thing, competition. You want to show that you have a good idea and understanding of the competition within your industry. So you want to do a SWOT analysis for your competition as well. What that will do is it will give you and it will give the person reading your business plan a good understanding of what differentiates you from the competition. You know, what makes the plants that Shanika's business, I wish I knew the name, you should probably tell me the name. What makes the plants that her business sell? Why are they different? Or why is the way how she operates her business, how is her business model different? You know, I don't know, are the leaves greener? Do you deliver them at a faster pace than everybody else? Is your pricing lower, you know? Or I don't know, do you offer you need to identify the strengths and the weaknesses of your competitors in order for you to clearly, even without explicitly saying it, you can show how your company is better than them or able to go toe-to-toe with them. So you have to do an analysis of your competition. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes the information is nice and out there and ready to go. Other times it's difficult because people are, you know, the competition, they're holding on tight to their own weaknesses. So it's, you know, to hire, you can get market research firms to assist with this aspect as well. We can assist with this aspect as well. We have so many research assistants that are ready to be trained, ready to be deployed to get you the information that you need on your competition. And so that it can inform you where you stand within the competitive matrix of your company. So next, we can look at the major heading, which is the marketing strategy. In this section of your plan, you will examine the strategies that you will employ to create a market presence. So you know what your target market is, you know who you're targeting, you know where you can find them, and you know what the competition looks like, what they're falling short on and what they're succeeding on. Now, you want to be able to say, am I going to take out ads on Facebook? Because if my customer is somebody who is between the ages of 16 and I don't know, 30, then you know that they probably have a very active social media presence. So the best place to advertise to them is with a targeted Facebook or Google ads. Or is it somebody on the older spectrum who listens to the radio a lot? So, you know, you're reaching out to RJR to advertise to them. Or is it that you're within a particular type of, you're in a niche setting? So there are so many flower shows that happens. Yeah, the Jamaica Horticultural Society, where people are coming to see what you have. That's a hub right then and there that you can go to advertise your business. So you need to think about how you're going to promote your product, how you're going to advertise it, where you're going to advertise it, the methods that you're going to use. There are so many different methods. This presentation would last until tomorrow morning if I go into detail on every single thing, but hopefully I'm touching on just more.
Can I just contribute one thing here to all the budding entrepreneurs online? What I started to do, I personally just, whenever there was a workshop, even if it was in a field that was basically not in my zone, not agricultural, I placed myself in those settings. So you guys will listen out for Zoom meetings because COVID-19 and all, just get yourself in the space. Networking, you don't have to be in the same sector. Just go there, make your face known, your business known, and then that is how you'll get to, especially the business space in Jamaica. It's very hard and I know it, so that is something and a technique that I've used and it has paid off somewhat thus far.
Very, 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 very good input. And it's funny because I was just not, well, we should be speeding through, but even the other day I went to this very same cardi that you mentioned earlier. They were having something on climate smart agriculture. And personally, I'm not I'm not doing anything in agriculture to that degree of having my own farm plot yet. I don't have any of those things yet or whatever. And to be honest, if I'm being quite frank, maybe I shouldn't say this, I'm kind of indifferent on the climate change thing in the sense that right now I don't really have the power to make much change. So it's kind of indifferent to me. If anything, I'll advocate for different policies to go through. But I'm not sure what I can, like, why do I need to know about the meteorological aspect of climate change and how it can affect agriculture in Jamaica? But I still went to the seminar put on by Cardi. They're talking about soil. They're talking about different means of quantifying the temperature and the rainfall data and how they use it to determine what the landscape will look like of a particular area. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I went. Not only that, we got an email for somebody that works with, I don't remember the name, but he works in the soil analysis lab. And he's like, yeah, man, we can give you more information, same as what you do here. So all of that is just to say, go to them, go and get the information, get the free ebooks, get all of the stuff, collect the emails, and it will really benefit you. Anyway, pricing strategy. So, you know, you've determined your advertising, how you're going to promote your business, where you're going to promote your business, right? And you're very specific, and I always have to drive this home. You're very specific values. You're going to try to incorporate as specific as it can be, as detailed as it can be. When you write, and just in general for the whole business plan, you write it the first time and you try to be as specific as possible, and then you go over it another time again and you nitpick to make sure that there is no question that was unanswered in terms of the specificity and the feasibility of this business plan, right? And this is why I was emphasizing earlier that the business model canvas is so good, because with your business plan, you're going to have to be so precise and you're going to be projecting and you're going to be forecasting and doing all of that stuff, that it can seem like such a cumbersome task that a lot of persons don't want to do it. So with your business model canvas, you have something tangible to start with and to go with, and you can use that to little by little build up your business plan, or you bring it to us, or you bring it to different consultant agencies that can assist. So in your pricing strategy, it's perhaps the most important variable within your business plan. If your prices are too high, then it may be out of reach of your target market. And if it's too low, then it gives the impression that your services are below standard. From an economics perspective, you're trying to, if you're in, because this economic data is available in Jamaica, maybe it's not as accurate as it could be, but there are analysis look at what is the supply like, what are they paying for, what do they want to pay, and what are other competitors offering, and try to land somewhere in the middle. And if you have something special about your product, then you can go a little bit higher. Or if what you're just trying to get your product out there to as many people as possible, they probably do what they call it penetration pricing, and you charge very, very low. And when you develop loyal customers now, then you gradually increase. So things like that you should be looking at in terms of your pricing strategy. Specifically, not only what are you going to be charging for your product or service, but why are you need to justify, why are you charging, why is it that the mean that you, I don't know, you're a tailor, or you want a tailor is a bad business example, but I don't know, we'll go back to the lotion example. I'm jumping all over the place with the different businesses because I want to show that it can be anything at all. Also, let me interject here, follow the SRC, Scientific Research Council. If you do anything that has to do with STEM to that regard, they have so many seminars that they're usually paid for. They're not free like this, but they teach you soap, how to make soap, how to make the lotions, yogurt, creating, just so much wellspring information. One little $25,000, and you get this incredible expertise, tissue culture, a little bit into biotechnology and how you can apply that to whatever product or service or how you can get into it. Follow the SRC page, they advertise it all the time. Follow Jamaica Business Development Corporation. They have a lot of different seminars as well. So let me see. Follow pages. All right. Distribution. What are your measures of distribution? This goes right back to your channels from your business model canvas. That's how it ties in. So when you have your business model canvas and you've already given a bullet point of where your channels are going to be, now you can expound on it more. So let's say one of your distribution channels, if you're doing physical goods, like you're selling physical plants, then, well, you use your truck and you drive it to somebody. I don't know, you drive it to the different locations, or you're hiring a fleet, depending on the amount, or you're hiring a distribution company. Or if it's an e-commerce business and you're primarily going to be interfacing with online, let's say, for example, you offer the service of I don't know, maybe a consultation, like a consultation business. And you do commissions based on the consultations that you provide, then you are gonna be reaching out, you're gonna be distributing your service via an online media, via your Facebook page, via your Instagram site, or you're gonna distribute your service or your product, your commerce, or you outsourcing distribution aspect. That's about 7 pages, and we're nearing 8:30. Again, I do have to apologize. I hope that the person that you use when thinking about the business plan, and that you will take this and reach out to us to for us to assist you in your business plan, and use the resources that we would have given to you to prepare your business plan as well. So operations, this section, you're going to put into perspective how your business will function on a day-to-day basis. Tying it back right once more to your, you type back once more. You can email them the document after the session as well. Absolutely, yes, we'll be emailing the document to you guys. All right. So what was I saying? Operations, your plan. Oh, this is a section of the plan that puts into perspective how your business will function on a day-to-day basis. So, and every single one of these sections, let me just say, if you're under the operations section, you need an introduction, you know. You need something that's almost like a summary that will say, under the operations section, it summarizes the majority of this, or you have it as one big paragraph, but you can't just have it listed out like this either. But like I say, if we were to go into the nitty-gritty of every single thing, this session would be much longer than it already is, 30 minutes over the time. So we're going to look at the location, which is very important for many types of businesses. Shanika has the unique position of being in a very good location based on the service that she provides. If she was providing, like, if you want to provide a food delivery service, but you live up in the hills of Trelawney and Manchester, well, that's maybe not a great place to be, because, well, your gas price is going to be very high when you're trying to deliver your food and things up those hills and mountains. So you better make sure that you have a good amount of target audience that want your service in that location. Not only that, but what is your proximity to the different resource, to the different linkages along your business, your value chain? What's your proximity to them? Do you need to be close to them? It's an online-based business, then you're fine. Location doesn't necessarily even matter, but it's a good idea to be in the technological hub of Jamaica, which would be Kingston, if you're going to be working in a technological field, because, like, you want to meet with investors, you want to meet with banks, you want to meet with similar types of businesses out here. Yeah, let me just continue from there. So
just signal, or just even signal, because like Flow and Digicel, the connectivity, I've seen a lot of business fail just because the person had to go back work from home and signal just not pick up. So you have to think about that. If you need an e-commerce business, does the location where you live have signal?
Exactly. Perfect. Even, yes, 100%. So on to technology. What type of technology will you be utilizing within your enterprise? That would mean every single business in Jamaica, no matter the type of business, you're going to be using technology. And you want to kind of introduce that there, because that's where the world is going. Maybe a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have included something like this, but now it's very important. Are you going to, let me read some of the examples that you have here. The success of your enterprise will depend on the efficient use of the latest technology. These will include hooked on Phonics Adobe Diagnostics Kit. See there, even Shanika saying cybersecurity is a necessary thing right now. But not only that, the apps that you will utilize. So like a food delivery service, you're gonna need to develop an app to cater to the customers, and you're gonna be able to need to encrypt the customers' information such that hackers can come take it and use and just do what they want with it. The type of research, because technology is not just only computer and apps and all of that stuff, but like I was saying with the SRC seminars, the type of methods and scientific methods that you are going to employ. I can tell you right now, just offhand, some simple things like, well, personally, how I would think about it, and this would come under the operations section as well, is how are you producing your goods and service? That would come under the production, when it's operations, yeah, the production part of your thing. So what biological technologies are you using? Are you using air layering? Are you using hormones that will increase the rate of, or the success of your cuttings? Are you using you know, so there's so many different aspects of technology and so many things that you need to think about when you're doing particular, when you're looking into your business plan. It's gonna be as detailed as it can be, and it's always good. And let me just kind of catch myself. You start off with just something bare bones, and you move up from there. By the way, let me pause here quickly because we're gonna speed through and jump to the end. And we've already gone 30 minutes over the time, and I shouldn't have. How is everybody doing? Everybody gone sleep?
No, we're here.
We're here.
Thank you so much for the detailed explanation. This will really help us. Thank you so much. I don't mind going overtime.
Okay, perfect. That's what I want to hear. Because I was just I was just a little bit worried because, you know, sometimes you might. Oh, somebody says, so she said he didn't even realize it was such a tedious process. And, you know, I'm actually happy to hear that because like now you would have left with a better understanding of what you can put into it. But then also, Roche, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, that will show you why I was so excited about the business model canvas. The business model canvas captures the essence of your business, the root of your business without all of this craziness. And then after you have your business model canvas and it's ironed out and it's perfect and it's pressed, after your engine has been properly oiled and all of the nuts and bolts have been tightened and it's ready to fire up, then you can focus on your car, which is the business plan. You take your engine, which is, you know, your business model canvas, you plug it into your car, which has so many other different aspects of it, and you run and you drive, and, you know, world record, you're the fastest car in the world, your new Tesla. Sorry if my metaphor get convoluted after a while. I am imagining that if we're in person, you guys would be laughing at my dry humor. But since we're over,
I'm laughing.
Okay, good. All right. So let us continue. Technology. Now, what type of technology? So I've spoken about that already. Capacity. Let me read this one verbatim. You will need to make a projection of the amount of products or services you will produce or supply on a given day. For certain businesses, this is impractical, obviously. So, but for most, this is something that you can include. So for certain types of online businesses, or you provide certain services or certain commission-based businesses, you can't really say, oh, I'm gonna commission, you know, this amount of projects per day or per week or per month. You can have a projection, I suppose, but this is more on the goods production side, you know? So if you're making, what was the name of the company? Clean Skin? Yeah. So Clean Skin lotions. Then you're gonna say, all right, based on my costs and my production setup and my revenue streams and all of that stuff and my analyses of my internal business, taking my, maybe I shouldn't get too complicated, but you're gonna take your average cost. These are simple things, simple micro econ things that you can apply to your business if you have a good idea of them. But you take your average cost and your marginal variable cost and you put in all of those things and you work out, all right, this is the adequate amount of production in conjunction to my price and the demand that is on the market that we spoke about earlier. So that's just what this capacity part is talking about. Hopefully I never just spouted a bunch of things that nobody even know what I'm saying a while ago. So on to procurement. This is where you will outline the source of your equipment and supplies, and also the arrangement to be made for their retention. You are going to be selling plants and providing landscaping services, but you don't have a greenhouse, or you don't explain how greenhouses for long-term growth and maintenance of your production stock. That doesn't make any sense. So that is where we're coming from here. And it's well, let's not talk about that part, because I don't necessarily think the agricultural supplies in Jamaica are that bad. You just have to know where to look.
Seeds are basically not available right now, sir. Like
COVID,
like much everything.
Okay, yeah, because
even before, it's like what you need is, I don't know. It's like that is one of the problem with my business too. It's like me have to be every part of the value chain. And that is where I have a great problem also with my business. It's like most persons who have a business in landscaping, they basically do the importation themselves and all of that. And that are money, because you have to go for import, they have to, where you say they have to test certain seeds where you're carrying in and all of that. It is a lot for a startup entrepreneur, especially a young person. It is very difficult. Certain business is so hard to tap in because of that exact thing where you say procurement. I have a sewing business that has, and I needed this machine, and me I tell you, for the life of me, up to now, I can't get the machine in because of the red tape that is surrounding getting that machine in.
Okay, yes, no, I understand what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying completely. Yeah, there are hurdles that you'll have to jump over in order to get some of these stuff done. And it's funny that you point that out too, because those are the types of goals that you can introduce at the beginning, that you want to improve your equipment bank, or the types of equipment. Like one of your goals is to get this sewing machine. Nothing is wrong with having that as a goal, to have, like, I don't know, 3 of the Model X, industrial sewing machine. By 2023, you want to have 3 of them producing at this volume. And one of the things that you're going to be doing to get to that goal is that you're going to be applying to grants using this very business plan. So everything ties in like that, let me just say. Let's go. Strategic alliances. You can link that back to key partnerships in the business model canvas. So the success of your enterprise may depend on your level of networking. Shanika said that and beat it to the grave, that you go places even when you don't feel like, say, if you're there, go, because you never know. You need to make a list of all the major businesses and agencies that will add to the success of your business. I believe that I can't speak too strongly on the other businesses because agriculture is what I know and what I do, and plants is what I know and what I do. But just from a layman's perspective, there are so many pest control agencies and businesses. There are, in my opinion at least, there are a lot of, whether it be formal or informal, other landscaping persons or people who produce the seedlings and those type of things. So it's there. It's just for you to find them and understand where they are and which ones you're going to connect with. And then you're going to explicitly state it here that, okay, I am connecting with these types of businesses. Even if you're talking about hotels, if you're talking about spas, clean skin lotion, right? Your lotion, it smells so fragrant and it keeps the dry skin away so well that one of your strategic alliances is with Adam and Eve Day Spa. But you're going to have a list of all the spas in Jamaica. You're going to include it here and you say, yes, so even if we break down with our relationship with Adam and Eve, we have these are a million different spas that will can use our lotion products. We provide it to them at a discounted price when they're giving them massages or when they're doing whatever. So, it's just to really think and be specific to your business. And right here, you're going to write out what your strategic alliances are. It's tantamount, it's the same equivalent to your, what was I saying, to your key partnerships. Let me check what's going here. Good. All good. All right. Operating methods. You're giving a brief description of how the business will operate. Example, credit arrangements, opening hours, your discount policies. So what time you open, what time you close, when do you provide this particular service, and everything like that. This is pretty straightforward. You're gonna basically tell them, this is what our business will be doing on a day-to-day, and this is how we're gonna be doing it. You know, this is when we are going to do our monthly reports. This is when we are going to have our meetings, our business meetings. And this is when we are gonna have, like when it's Christmas season, that is when we're gonna have this particular, I don't know, discount. So there's so much to it that you can add. There's so much that we can get into, but I'm on page 12 out of 17 and almost 9 o'clock and people are leaving like crazy. So I just want to wrap up. Let me just, because I'll email this to you guys as well. Organization, in the section of your plan, you need to outline how your business will be organized, who owns it, and what are the groups of people that will be, or is it you one, or is it several of you? Is it a board of directors that are making the decisions? And who are a part of that management team? What are their qualifications? What do they bring to the table? How are they an asset? Why is it important to bring them up at all? What do they do? You know, like you have to write that down, because people want to know that if they're gonna be giving you a grant, or if they're gonna be investing in your business, like that, your money is in good hands. These are people who are qualified. These are people who know what they're doing. These are people who have done this before, or even if they haven't done it before, these are people who have studied it. These are people who have the linkages. But you have to explicitly state, you know, even to say our team will comprise, our management team will comprise a well-trained, experienced, and dedicated individual. The team will include ... Right here, this statement, that's just the fluff. You need to explicitly say, all right, Elizabeth 5 long years, and she, I don't know, she has been a business consultant for 5 years plus, or 20 odd years. And then you have Margaret Wills, and management okay, management team gonna be able, if when they're going to get tough, or if they're going to get guided, or if anything is going to happen, they have the expertise, or at least the education, to be able to do this thing properly. Now, finally, we're jumping over to the financials. Break-even analysis. And this is just one type of analysis that you can look at. You have so many other things. I wish I would have included the graphs here, but that's okay. Give me a second. Here. All right. So this is where you calculate the amount of sales you need to make break even. That means not making a profit or a loss. And this is important for you to include in terms of the financial aspect, because it will show you the potential for your business to make profit. What do I mean? If based on, I wanted to scroll up, but if based on your marketing, and follow me, based on your market analysis that was earlier, based on what you would have seen as the projections, what is your market like? What is the demand, and who are your customers, and how many of them are there, and how much are you pricing? Based on all of that information, based on your operations that we just went over as well, in terms of, you know, the costs associated with your business, and the technology that you're going to use, where you're located, and all of those things. Based on all of that, what is your break-even price? At your break-even, I mean, I got a 80, and I will get it in 76. All right. So what is your break-even price? And that will show you that based on the numbers that you would have had earlier, and the projections and the trends in the industry, you will be able to show that if I only sell, I don't know, if I only sell 30 products, I break even. I can cover my costs, right? And this market is demanding 500 products, or it's demanding 50 products. clearly I'm going to be making a profit. Clearly there's going to be some sort of buffer in terms of the success of my business. You know, if anything unforeseen should come, you know that you have some sort of financial cushion because your break-even point is well below the market demand. So let's jump on into cash flow. One note here is that the cash flow is a prediction of how much money or cash will move in and out of your business. Inflow is the avenues for which money will be coming in. Think of your revenue streams on your business model canvas, and your cash outflows are obviously how money will leave the business. Inflows is your revenues, your outflows is your costs, essentially. And then your closing balance is the difference between the money that flows into the business and the monies that are paid out. If your total cash inflow is 100,000 and your cash outflow is 25, then your closing balance is 75,000. Basic mathematics. Your opening balance for a particular period is the amount that is brought over from the previous year. If you know anything about accounting, you know balance at the brought forward and balance brought down and all of those things. So you're gonna want to include things like that. And I'm just gonna be completely honest with you right now. The financial section, especially for our business, do not be afraid to consult with a financial professional to assist you in this aspect. There's only so much you can do without having some inside knowledge. Yes, you can find the research and you can learn about it yourself, but you have whole auditors, you have whole accountants, you have whole financial analysts and all of those people. In fact, if you're going to be applying to grants, they have, what they call again? Quality assurance consultants is what they're called, especially in terms of the Development Bank of Jamaica. They have what we call quality assurance consultants, which will essentially, they are externally hired financial professionals that will determine whether or not the information that you provide here is accurate and feasible, if it makes sense. So rather than get yourself into problem and lose out on opportunities because you just ballpark and because you don't have the expertise, but you're afraid to hire someone with the expertise, you better just hire someone with the expertise one time and done. And just know that you have everything that you need to get the most out of your one payment to a consultant. Finally, we're nearing the end. We have our sales forecast. For some businesses, you don't necessarily even need that, depending on your goals, depending on why you are producing the business plan at this particular point in time. So what amount of sales will you be making on a monthly basis as an estimate? There are so many different types of estimations that you can use as well. And it's a quick Google search will show you, based on the industry that you're in, what type of forecasting you can do. Everybody in the chat, not even listening to me, they're just talking about, oh, get distinction, oh, got 80%. Oh my gosh. I don't know business about me, man.
We are hearing the ones that are not texting are hearing.
Okay. She laugh. All right. So I wish I would have gotten to sign off with everybody else before we left. So yes, so we have our sales forecast. So for the different products, because if you would remember earlier, we spoke about different products and services that you could have. Going back to Shanika's business, she is selling her particular ornamental plants, for example, but she's also providing, that's one product, the plants that she sells, but she also provides landscaping services. That is one type of service, and you try to be as specific in terms, like not as general as just landscaping services like that. If you could fine tune it a little bit more based on how you actually deliver the service. So if as a part of your landscaping services, you have cutting people on versus replacing the soil, because like you uproot the entire yard and then you bring in proper topsoil and add it in, versus adding pavement, so you have so many different aspects of just landscaping services, but I'm just summarizing it. When you're writing your products or your service, you're going to be very specific as to the specific package that your company offers. And then you're going to look at the projected sales toward that particular product. Again, you start with the most important one, with what's at the core of your business. Clean skin, lotions, the business that I just made up, their main thing is that they sell lotions, but they also provide dermatological services. So that is something for you to look out for. That they would say, okay, we provide this type of consultation on our clients, and we expect to have these amount of sales based on the size of our target market. Because if the size of your target market is, and that's why it's important to have it on top, the size of your target market and based on your customer profile, you know that there are 50,000 people within a particular area that fit into your target market, then you can say, of those 50,000 people, how many of them are likely, what is the demand looking like? Then you can now project and say, all right, based on the demand and based on the different statistical assumptions that we can use, you can say my sales are going to be, especially based on my marketing plan, you know, how many persons my Google ads are going to reach, how many persons out of my target audience are actually going to click, and how many of them are going to be interested in my product. We can give you now a fairly accurate estimation of the sales that we're going to have in month 1 for our lotions. And then based on when the lotions finish, that's the next thing you can think about as well. So you're trying to be as realistic as possible and as detailed as possible, because if a lotion, on average, based on the size of your lotion bottle, it's going to last this person, I don't know, 1 month, then you're going to know that, all right, whichever person is buying this, they will more than likely be buying it this month and then also buying it next month as well. So that will go into how you project your sales as well. It's a good idea to underestimate, because when they see you overestimating, especially in these financial, because that's what financial companies do, basically. If you ever take out a mortgage or if you ever try to get your car evaluated or anything like that, you will know that that's what they do. They under-evaluate, they underestimate the value of things because depreciation, because you never know what can happen, and it's more about better to be conservative than to be too optimistic. And then let me just check something. Oh, somebody said they were a bit confused. I'm not sure what this is regarding. Wait, when you say you're a bit confused, you mean in terms of the content that I'm speaking?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Please note that expected sales per month is the total sales multiplied by the unit cost. You're going to be emailing this document as well. Your startup cost, you want to look into that. I want to finish up by 9 o'clock. So let me just quickly, I just want to quickly just kind of show you these different slides that are showing you your operation costs are going to be included as well. So you're looking at your labor operations, which are usually your biggest costs if you're going to hire persons, the materials that you're going to purchase, the utilities, and it is good. These are your variable costs, of course. You're not just going to put it like this. So you're not just going to have labor operations wages and then you go across. You're going to list it. You're going to list exactly which labor, who getting paid what. But let's not get into that. Utilities, which utilities, like bracket, you can probably even just put bracket, light, water, I don't know, the rent that for if you have a physical business, things like that. Although that would be a fixed cost, the rent, I mean. Well, is it a fixed? Is it a fixed? Sorry, I kind of just zoned out. Yeah, yes, this is. All right. And then you get your total variable cost, just like in you get your total variable cost, and then you work out your fixed costs, which are your salaries, which are your taxes, which is the petty cash, how much cash you have on hand, how much you're gonna pay Google ads, what is your rent and your lease, or there it is, the transportation costs, what contingencies, what maintenance services, depreciation, all of these things that sound like it's easy stuff for an accountant to work with. And not only that, this is the type of data that you will have if you have already been operating your business. If you don't already have your business in operation, then it's gonna be kind of tough to come up with these things, and that you're gonna have to do a lot of thinking and a lot of researching and a lot of shadowing of persons who are similar to you in the type of business that you're doing. In terms of, because some of us in here are actually the research assistants with e-Biome, the clients that would come forward and ask us, such as Shanika, who would want us to assist them in these services, would have already had a business, so they have an idea of these costs, and it's just for us to refine it to make it more practical and to make it as realistic as possible, such that when somebody sees it, they can say, yes, this feels like it's gonna happen, and if it's gonna be off, it's gonna be off like 1 or 2%, not 40 and 50% off. Then we have our projected cash flow. This looks like a whole bag of mess, but this whole column over here, all of this side, it's just showing you the different months. And you don't even have to do it by month based on your particular business type, but it's good to start with by month, and how much sales and credit, how much cash sale you have, how much loan, how much are you going to be getting from the loan that you might receive, how much equity do you already hold, which is, you know, more of a constant type of cash flow. And then you're looking at your outflows. You know, you're going to be needing to buy more potting soil. You're going to be needing to buy more fertilizer and pesticides. You're going to be needing to purchase rooting hormone. You're going to be needing to pay the wages of the workers and the electricity and the water and the promotions for the billboard and the radio ad that you're going to use, and you're going to pay in your insurance and all of that stuff. And then you end up with your closing balance, which will give an idea over the course based on your projections of how you want to go and where you are right now. It's going to show you what your closing balance should look like as your business progresses. Now that we're nearing the end, let me just tie this back to the top, where I would have said, if, for example, you are looking to increase your business from having a total net worth of 100,000 to 1 million within, let's say it's 1 year, surely you would understand that by the end, at this section of your business plan, you want to show that after your cash inflows and your outflows are gone, and the income coming in, and the fixed and the variable costs and the revenues and all that stuff, when you reach to the end of this 12 month, you should be looking for a $1 million value, because that's your projection. And the reason why you have that particular goal is because you're going to be working towards it, and it is going to be reasonable.